Hey, Bobby Motor.
Hey, my name is Riley.
Hey everybody, this is Michael and you're listening to Speculo Live. Hello and welcome back to the Speculo Live podcast, episode number 18. Is that what I said, Bob?
It is 18. I have not been on for 18 of them, which
You
I
have not.
deeply regret.
Yeah.
I've been in a hole.
That's the thing, man. You got to get out of that hole. You got to rise up. Got to get out of that hole, Bobby.
One of these days.
One of these days, man. But the hole you're in is a good hole because it's allowing you to create cool stuff with this great team that we've built now. Continue to grow, added more dev guys, add more people that are building great stuff, cool shit that we can just use on a regular basis and just make our clients' experience even better.
Yeah, what the heck happened? This used to be just me in my robe and my flip-flops sitting there coding on the weekend, trying to build some cool shit. And then now feels like we have a whole full-blown dev team and we got to follow processes and procedures. It's great.
You're running sprints, Robert, and not like gym sprints. You're running tech sprints.
I do have CrossFit today, so I'm going to do some sprints too.
Yes. Do the CrossFit thing. That's good, man. I love it. Got to keep the brain and the body in a healthy way. That's good, man. Well, look, I mean, you've missed a few great interviews that we've had. We had a good conversation with a bunch of different people since you've been gone. We've had a chance to talk to different tech teams. We've had a chance to talk to RP Elevate. We've had a chance to talk to good old Bob Martin there out of Houston Properties Group. It's been great to have different contributors in varying ages, ranges, and experience levels in real estate. So it's been super cool. But it brings us now to where we are right before the turkey holiday, Bobby. Look, I got my pop-up turkey that my son made me. I can put it right on my desk here and I can push it down and the damn thing will just fly right up at the most unexpected times. And it doesn't matter how prepared I am. It scares me every time. Every time. But yeah, man, tell me, let's start off on a really good positive note. Tell me something. What are you thankful for this year, Robert? Tell me what you're thankful for as you're going into Thanksgiving.
Oh, man. I mean, I feel like last year, everything was like kind of up in the air. Nobody really knew what was happening. It was kind of a mess. I'm thankful this year for clarity and like in my family, right? It's, as you know, we moved out to Fredericksburg, Texas, and have a little bit more land and get to run around with the kids more and spend more quality time. So that's been really good.
That's awesome. Yeah. I'm following that same theme. I'm really grateful for my family and the growth that we've seen as a family and just like all the blessings we've been given this year. It's been so fruitful, various seasons as the year's gone on, and we've struggled in some, but risen up against others, and ultimately it just comes collective into the whole story of life. And it's been a great year, and I'm really blessed to have all the people and all the great things that I get to do. So every day above ground is a good day as long as you just turn it into a good day, right?
Amen.
Well, good, man. Well, let's dive in. We got 3 topics as always. We cover 3 topics on this thing. Some topics talk about our platform, some just talk about AI as a whole. And this week, I think what we're going to do is we're going to kind of blend that into one collective of talking about the topic, how it applies to the industry, and then how we can applicably see ourselves in that specific topic too. And I think one of the first ones we want to talk about is data silos. It doesn't sound sexy or fun, but let's simplify it for people. So according to Housing Wire, over 55% of real estate professionals are aware of AI tools, but only 28% actively use them, largely because the data remains fragmented. Let's talk about this, Bobby. What does fragmented data mean?
So right now we're at a moment in time where, and this was something that I was trying to tackle. Actually, hold 1 second. I am going to start shivering if I don't fix this fan. I'm going to turn it off really quick. Hold on.
Get your studio in check, Robert. My word. These are the things we have to prepare for before we get on these calls, Bobby. My goodness. Yeah, the fragmented data has been so interesting to me to watch from a client perspective because obviously, dirty data in your database equals dirty output. And that's a huge problem that a lot of real estate agents or teams have when we talk to them. We meet with these people, we meet with these awesome teams, and we're like, all right, this is great. You got a huge database. That's exciting for you. And then we ask some simple questions like, how many of these leads are actually opted in? And I would say a majority of the time we get people that come back to us and say, I honestly don't know how many of my leads are opted in. And where do I find that data? Where do I get it? How much you know about your contacts? That's a hard point. So all these things lead to fragmented data. So you know, Bobby's back. He's not cold anymore, but
I'm still cold, but it's fine.
Let's talk
It'll
about
be good.
fragmented data. What does it mean to have fragmented data?
Yeah. So back when I was building out one of the CRMs, this was a problem that we were trying to solve. Is you had contract data living over here, you have new leads living over here, you have your sphere contacts living over here, and then maybe your MLS data over here. And the data, trying to unify all that into one place is a massive task. All it did was create really wide products that didn't really do anything really that great. And so that was a problem that we were trying to tackle. It never really came to fruition. And it still is a problem. There's data everywhere. It is fragmented. It is incomplete because agents are working in 100 different tools. But at the end of the day, this is a moment in time, right? Agents don't understand is how you can pull things together. And I teach a AI enabled agent class, and I did in Austin this last week. And showing agents how AI has the ability to pull all those things together, because as AI gets bigger and gets better, which if nobody was paying attention today, Gemini 3.0 was launched. It's beginning to have access to all these different things. So much so that, so I gave this example. We were using a major CRM that we use with my real estate team, and this was live during the class. And there are AIs out there right now, and we can talk deeper about them if we want, that allow agents to just go in there and say, hey, here's my CRM that's up. Can you find more information on this contact, fill it out, essentially. And the AI has access to all that data now to be able to do it, to be able to fill it out, to put background information in, to find out who their spouse is, what are their email addresses, log into your platforms and connect it all together like an assistant would. And so there's no excuse for agents to not be using this at this point, because the idea of fragmented data is all living in people's heads at this point. I was going through an exercise the other day with my financial manager, showing how easy it is now to connect some of these larger platforms to personal finances. Something that used to be completely. And then on top of that, you can connect that to your business spreadsheets and all your business planning, and say, okay, how do my finances, how do all these things connect together so I can make better business decisions? This is all things that it's a moment in time problem, and if agents are avoiding leveraging these tools, they're going to fall behind. And I know that, like, so specifically, when we're talking about clean database, if your AI has access to not only your database, which it does, right? Especially if you're using Comet as a browser or Atlas as a browser, these agentic AI tools, it has access to your database and has access to every other piece of data that you're connected to, whether it's got logins or not. All of it's connected because the AI can go and do it like a human would and pull it together. So I encourage agents to not, like, it is a incorrect statement at this point in time to believe that these things cannot be connected.
Yeah.
And that it's not easy.
Yeah, don't live in a world of fragmented data anymore. A summary of that is just if your data is living in multiple places or is not updated or is not clean and is not able to kind of be culminated into one, source that is the source of truth, or even if it does live in multiple places and you don't leverage a tool like an agentic AI to go in and grab that to say, this is what I know to be true about your business or your contact or what have you, you're creating a deficit for yourself, right? We've got agentic AI. So talk about agentic AI again. We've talked about this before. So how does it play into supporting you from getting away from a position of fragmented data?
Yeah, and we are getting better and better and better at this, to where, let's say that you're looking to communicate with a client or a contact. Not only are we going to have the basic pieces of information, but because all of the data, because our AI, most AIs excel at things that exist on the web. What we're building excels at things that exist in communication between you or it and your clients and your contacts, and pulling all that traditional fragmented data, because it just existed in conversations, together into one place, and then also allowing you to just dump whatever other fragmented data you want into the system so that it can communicate more effectively, not only to you, the agent, but also to your clients. This is all coming together to create the most complete, comprehensive sales assistant that you could possibly have inside of your real estate system. Whether it's your CRMs, whether it's your phone calls, whether it's random PDFs that you have that have all your clients' needs and wants on it, because you go out there and you have face-to-face conversations, and that data typically is fragmented. Mm-hmm. All that information can come together into one to allow to have great conversations. And so we are definitely taking steps towards and walking down that path of pulling all these different pieces of information together that you would need to have a great conversation with a client or lead, and putting that into the hands of agents. So this is again, like the agents, I would actually say that, the stat is 28% of agents are actively using AI. I would say that the ones that are using it well is under 1%.
Yeah, I would agree with that. There's a huge danger when your follow-up strategy or your nurture strategy exists in silos, right? When you have siloed data in multiple places, but you're not using something to bring them all together, it's really dangerous because it doesn't allow you to actually thoroughly take that next step. What is the action? What do I know about my database to be true? You could tell me you have 50,000 contacts in a database, but if you don't know what is true about all of those, by taking it out of the fragmented mindset, giving it into a world where it's culminated and put it together, it allows you to, yes, have those contacts, but they essentially are just like a graveyard. They just sit there like a rock. So by getting out of the mindset of fragmented data, incorporating something like an agentic AI tool, now we can pull it together and make it actionable and say, you know what? Now that my database is actionable, I know this to be true about a specific segment, even if it's 15%, but 15% now are actionable with ready steps and outreach strategies that result in a conversation, then you're winning, right? You're winning with 15% more. And over time, where we help to bridge that gap is that once we have unified AI voice plus a database that's being enriched and approached, this bridges that gap. This bridges that gap between fragmented and siloed into actionable understanding that will then result in a great opportunity. Leads aren't just stored anymore. They're not just sitting in a database or a CRM. They're actually engaged with in the time they need to be engaged with. So have a clean database, number one, but then create an ecosystem where it's not fragmented. And then it allows for real-time follow-up, which ultimately lasts and results in faster conversions, faster conversations, and conversations that are contextual, right? That it just makes your follow-up visible, accountable, and it's tech-driven, right? But one of the things you touched on that I think is so crucial, Bobby, that it's just thematically you cannot get away from is the you that you mentioned, right? You as the leader of the team, you as the agent that's responsible for this database, you as the professional that's going to have the conversation. Do not think that by deploying AI into your business, it allows you to not be in your business. That is such a fail. It is such a fail, because then what happens is suddenly all this is going and you come back and stuff's everywhere. And the machine's going and it's running and there's things falling off the conveyor belt and the whole business is falling apart. And you're like, when did this happen? I thought I taught AI how to. Well, because you're not watching your business. You can get AI to do the things, but at the end of the day, it is still your business and you have to be invested in it.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, good. Cool. Next topic. 82% of buyers use AI, but they still want real agents. This is where we definitely have a strategic advantage, I think, from a lot of perspectives. But a recent survey from Realtor.com found that 82% of Americans use AI tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, etc., for real estate insights, but they really still regard agents as the most trusted advisors.
100%. I want to tie these two things together, and kind of make a point that, there was also a survey done, 28% of agents are using AI, right? But 82% of your clients are using AI. I wonder how many of those clients that are using AI expect their agents to be using AI at a higher level as them. Like, just listen to those numbers. And I know the people that are probably watching this are using AI at a high level, but just understand there's an opportunity now that if you're using AI at a high level, hopefully higher than your clients, because they're going to expect that, right? There's such a big opportunity out there. There are so many clients out there right now that are not even going to consider using real estate agents that are not using AI. I just got to put that out there. I hear this all the time. Agents raise their hands, say they're afraid of AI because it's going to take their jobs or whatever. Your clients are using it. You better get on board and get on board at a higher level, because if you can't talk about it intelligently, they're never going to hire you. Anyways, like they still, I say this all the time.
Just let that sink in. Just let that sink in for a second. Everybody just calm down. Everything's cool. It's cool.
I'm just getting angry. No.
But you're right. Like we've been doing this shit for years as real estate professionals. Like it was the internet and it was the email world and then it was social media and then like everyone's playing catch up and no one can understand like, oh, okay, no, now that so that wasn't just a joke. Like I now I do have to use social media. Like, yes, and this is the same thing. Meet
Yeah.
your clients where they are so you can speak the language they're speaking and understand and then speak to them in the language that they're searching through. That's how you build trust.
Yes, that is. And also, they want you. They want you to handle this for them. They're not going to trust an AI to go handle the biggest purchase of their life. It's never going to happen. They want a human being they can connect, empathize with, and they can trust. Because that's what real estate is. The same thing why I'm not going to ever go represent myself in a court of law, right? If I'm, among a jury of my peers. Because you want a partner there with you that's helping you walk through this, that has done it before, that understands the process inside and out, and is able to do it. Right? People do go buy houses by themselves and things like that, and there are those clients that are going to use AI to negotiate contracts and such. But at the end of the day, 99% of people, like 99% of people, period, want an agent on their side that's going to help them to buy and sell real estate. And 82% of buyers using AI, they still want you to help them.
Yeah.
They're just going to be a lot more educated
Yeah.
in what it is that you should be doing, and they're going to ask more questions, right?
Yeah.
So, which is why you got to be on top of it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. You're going to have an easier relationship building opportunity when you show up knowing that the AI is for information, but ultimately the human agent is for relationships, right? It's the relationship side that people need. And they're going to be using the AI whether you tell them to or not. So you may as well get on board with the concept and
don't tell
understand.
people not to use AI.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, but there's as many agents out there that are doing that exact same thing, right? And
Oh,
look, so
it's
be
all
it.
fake information. None of it's going to be right. Blah blah. It's the same thing people tried to tell us when the internet came out.
Hmm.
Like when I was trying to write book reports in school, they're like, "Well, you can't use it because it could be wrong." Okay, fine. Let me be intelligent enough to determine if it's right or wrong. Here's the thing, though: AI is smarter than you. I promise, it is smarter than you as an agent. It knows all the compliance that it needs to know about how to buy and sell real estate, and it's going to make you a better real estate agent if you leverage it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, right. So, automate the mundane parts with AI, right? The home valuations, things like that. The early communication of people searching for home information or market information using AI. But then you can deploy your human value where it counts, right? Bring that knowledge, meet them where they're at. If 82% of buyers are using AI, then you're a fool not to think that you should be adding it to your business. And I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm just telling you this is the world we live in now and we have to adjust with it. But it does result in like having that AI to stay top of mind, but more importantly, top of conversation, meaningful conversations that meet these people where they're at, when they're at, speaking the language they're speaking. And then you're able to then show that you're on the same level as them. And that's how we build trust, because the human connection, the face to face, belly to belly, as you say, is what comes next, right? Everything that's before that, you can be a part of that if you choose to be, right? So,
Yeah.
huge stat. I appreciate the data from Housing Wire because I think that that's really relevant right now in our time. And I think, going back to agentic AI, that's why it's so crucial to have these smart AI tools in your toolbox that work with non-fragmented databases to continually learn and become really smart for you as a support tool and as an assistant.
Yeah, leverage it, make you better. Literally, these are your superpowers.
Yeah,
And like,
absolutely.
enable yourself to be the best agent that you can possibly be and lean into it.
Well, and look, don't negate the fact that you can train your AI to be thinking in the same realm as you are, right? Teach it how you think, what you say, how you say it, when you meet people the right way. Think of like follow-up activities. Like, I love the idea of the closing gift. We do that. But like, what if you establish a culture where you're establishing gifts throughout the entire transaction for these people? Hard deals, send a bottle of wine, right? Exciting opportunities. Thanks for going through. Maybe it's like, we've looked at 25 houses, send them a pizza for the night, just be like, just take one night and relax. And let's take 3 days off from looking at homes. Do that thing and find out where AI can support you, or send a note, or what, like something that works within the confines of what you do as a business owner.
Yeah. And so a little story about this too. One of my agents got a call out of the blue from a lead, a $3 million lead. It's like, hey, I want to use you as my agent. And he asked, well, where did you find me? Well, I asked ChatGPT. who the best agent was. Your buyers are using AI,
They're using AI.
but they still wanted a human.
And the funny thing is like everyone that I've been speaking to about, well, what about this thought process that people are going to get off the internet? They're not going to search on Google anymore. They're not going to, and like I may be taking a bold stance here when I say this. Look, SEO, as far as I'm concerned, AI is pulling that information from somewhere. It's pulling it from the internet. And the more information and content and transactions and listings and activity and engagement and everything that you can do still remains king. Social media posts, all that stuff. So that when someone goes to search on AI, they're going to pull you up because you're the most relevant there. And it's utilizing that it's seeing that you're using AI in your business. And it's saying this person is up to date, they're up to speed, and they know what's going on.
Yep.
Trusted source. Good, man. Third topic, generating trust when AI can fake it. 1 in 4 agents may be, 1 in 4 agent reviews may be AI written. According to originality.ai, almost 24% of agent reviews on Zillow in 2025 are likely AI generated, which raises concerns about authenticity and trust. So let's talk about why trust and authenticity are becoming the new competitive advantage for agents.
Yeah. So, I mean, be honest here. I promise you that and maybe this is, the stat they got here is just raw data. Like we think this was AI generated. I promise you, your clients are using AI to generate things like reviews. They're saying, I loved this guy. We had a great conversation, or we had a great experience, helped us find our house. And they go to ChatGPT and said, hey, make this a better review. So I honestly, I think we're going to get to a place where 99% of these reviews are going to be written by AI, because that person's going to say, hey, I loved working with Jim. He did a really great job. Can you write a review for him across all the review sites? And it's just going to happen. So I would not say that that's a problem. If there's just generic stuff put out there, like you can't help it. But if your clients are logged in and they're actually writing reviews that they copy and pasted from AI, it's going to help you. Honestly, I would encourage more of this. Make it easy for your clients, because what do agents typically do? They'll send a snippet to their clients and be like, hey, can you go to all these links and save a review for me? Here's an example review that you can leave. And some clients do that, which I think is worse than them actually, pouring their feelings into an AI, say, hey, write something that doesn't make me sound stupid, and then post that on the sites. I don't know. Maybe I'm
You're old school. Yeah, I know. Like, I'm with you, man. Like, here's what I think. I think that real humans answer real phones. Okay. And I think AI can support the lead up to that conversation, but what you do after that happens, utilize the AI at the beginning, at the forefront, to understand intent, to qualify, to nurture, to do all the things, right? I think that that's a crucial part, but then show up at your best. Because what I believe to be true is that the way you make somebody feel through your actual active engagement is what will be written about you in the review section. And
100%.
I think that's the most important takeaway here, right? The transactional side of this business can be very real. And I think that once you're able to get someone out of the matrix of nothing but AI and engage with them as a real human, it's almost like that oasis that you create for them that is now a rarity. And I think that one thing that is genuine is, yes, use AI to make the scalable activities real, and the large activities of outreach and nurture and follow up and all that real, but also allow it to then curate a very custom experience where when their birthdays are, when their life events happen, and that they're going through a tough struggle with this home sale, that this is an important move for them because they're now downsizing to get closer to their grandkids, and you find them the perfect home and ask them, don't tell them write me and post it everywhere, ask them, referrals to me mean a lot. And I would love the opportunity for you to write me something quickly. Send them the link and just give it to them to actually type something out, and then make the experience so value driven that they cannot forget every piece of that puzzle. And they'll put it in there with their heart and their intentionality, that it shows and rings true that you are the real estate professional that helps save them or build that life or create that new opportunity from them or for them. And I think that that is what the biggest takeaway from this is that while 1 in 4 agent reviews can be fake, maybe AI written, it's not the end of the world. Some people don't have time, but the people that have time are the ones that will make time for you because you made time for them. So be sure to know that because you incorporate AI into your business to generate that opportunity, the second that that connection gets live to you, treat it with the respect that it deserves and be the professional that you are.
Yeah, and I'm of a mind that, over the next few years, most content is going to be AI driven, period, whether it's communication via email or stuff you find on the web. And it's not to say that it's incorrect or not genuine. It's coming, it's happening. This is just going to require you as an agent to be more involved, more face to face, more professional at your relationship building, more purposeful about your relationship building and building that human connection. So I like it's happening, and we just got to get on board for it.
Yeah.
Just be a better agent.
AI references artificial intelligence, but let the artificial intelligence drive your authenticity. Make it so that strategically, what we have found in this computer generated world is now going to be your strategic advantage. You are now going to be the expert that gets to lean on what makes you so exceptional, which is you are a great human that wants great things for great humans. And just lean on that, show up in a massive way, and then watch the genuine non AI written reviews pour in and come through. Because I firmly believe that the shift that we will see between those that are thriving and those that are just, punching buttons in this industry are going to be the ones that show up authentically and create an exceptional experience that generate referrals.
Yeah, I agree.
That's good. Parting thoughts, Bobby. What do we got coming down the pipe that you are so excited about that you just cannot wait to tell everybody?
Oh man, I'm really excited about the ability for Remy to be able to take a piece of paper that you give it on a client or contact and then be able to speak to that in its conversations. Like that's a huge step forward for our ability to take unstructured information and be able to provide a purposeful conversation. So that to me is a big deal. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about, some of the flywheel concepts that we're building, which allows Remy to be even more agentic moving forward. And it's going into 2026. I think we're going to blow some people's minds. They're going to see some of the power of what AI can do. And as these agents or as these AI models get better and better and better, and again, if you haven't looked, Gemini 3, I don't know if it's publicly available yet, but I get to play with it a little bit, got released today. It is getting smarter and smarter and smarter and better and better and better. And I'm excited for where that's going to take things. So get excited for that.
So Gemini 3 is the new Google release of their AI. Is this something you think people should look at putting in their stack alongside of ChatGPT, alongside of these other ones that we typically see people engaging with?
Yeah. So typically people are on ChatGPT or Claude or Perplexity. Gemini has been one that people have kind of avoided. It's been kind of like the redheaded stepchild of AI for a while. I guess while Google was sitting back and going really wide, but this one feels different. And if you look at the stats that it's starting to produce, it is blowing people away. So I think it's going to be a really cool little, a really cool model that's going to change the game. And there's about to be a whole nother ramp up of AI models just over the next 3 months going into the holidays and out of the holidays. It's just going to keep going, keep getting better and better and better across the board.
Yeah.
It's a space race.
So what are your three that you think we should watch? Obviously Gemini 3.0. We've got Claude. I think that I'm a fan of Claude. I think it's a great tool. Obviously ChatGPT, but what are your three?
Yeah. I think that the three are Gemini, Claude, and Perplexity. Those are my big three.
Gemini, Claude, Perplexity.
Claude for business use case, right? For business projects, things like that. It's a really great tool for that. Perplexity is great for research because it's internet first. And they also have a really awesome browser called Comet that I talked about earlier that allows you to interact with things like your MLS or your CRM and connect all those data sources. And then Gemini right now, because it's doing some really great things. If you need to go like stage photos, Gemini is going to be your go-to for that. It's going to be the best one to be able to do it. And it'll do it really well with their nano banana image processor. Yeah. And I don't mention ChatGPT just because ChatGPT is a great conversational partner to talk through things, but I think there's something coming with them, and they're trying to get more into the business suite of products. I think that's ultimately going to be where they go. as they move public is to try and compete more with the Googles and the Microsofts of the world. But it's not there yet. And for business purposes, I don't ever really touch it. So
got it. Okay. Claude, Gemini, and Perplexity. Love it.
Yep.
Well, good, y'all. Thanks so much for listening again. This one is a solid 30 minutes. I hope you enjoyed what we've got. I hope you all have a great holiday. We'll touch base again here. We've got some great guests coming up, and we're excited to have them. Shout out to the Fast Forward movement. That's this hat I got on right now. We had a great time with them in Miami. Great team, great community. Definitely check them out. And Bobby, super proud of you for all these things you guys have been working hard to do for our clients. Last note I want to say is always be involved in your business, guys. Always, lean on AI to help, create a world without the fragmentation of your database. But remember, at the end of the day, the real estate professional is what people want to engage with, and pour yourself into that. Don't forget, what feels like artificial intelligence is taking over, it will never be able to replace the opportunity that is human engagement. So keep that in your business at all times. Stay in your business. All right, guys. Thanks, Bobby. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, appreciate you too, Michael. Thanks, guys.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on the Speculo Live podcast. We are very grateful for your support as always. If you or someone that you know is interested to just get a consultation on how they're using AI in their real estate business, do not hesitate to hit us up through one of the links in our profile, or you can feel free to DM us on any one of the social channels. Stay tuned for more episodes, and make sure to like and subscribe to make sure that you get notified when our next podcast episode comes up. Thanks, guys.